Howdy, it's Matt. This video is an introduction to some of the conversations which we are going to have with the members, those of you who have gone on to join and sponsor the Rag the Nuts Off channel. Now, you may be wondering, well, Matt, I haven't been and done that, and that's absolutely fine. I wanted to give you like a taster or this like insight to some of the things which are going on here over the next couple of weeks, and also to make the point is that if you don't want to or can't afford to, that's absolutely fine. Okay, I just want to stress that now. You will find out about the things which are coming along very shortly, just when they happen, if that makes sense. And this type of video is my way of giving some feedback, or giving you some value and some insight to some of the things which are going on here in the background. And you'll notice that it's a much more relaxed, if that's even possible, format than what we've covered before. So with that said, we're going to go and take a look, and you can see how many tabs I've got open here of the things which are coming up very, very shortly. I will include links to all of these in the video description as well for you, so if you want to go and take a look, that's happy days. And yes, I need to make the point, there is a new join option for the Rag the Nuts Off channel. I know many of you have asked for what is now years, sorry, for some ability to be able to sponsor, to become patrons of the Rag Nuts Off channel, and that is now live. Shock horror, I've not chosen Patreon for this, I've chosen YouTube. And the reason why I've chosen that is very simple, is because it's easiest for you. It sounds daft, and I know some of you are fans of other tools, and there was somebody mentioned another tool which I've never heard before yesterday, but easiness and convenience always wins. So that's why I've chosen the YouTube platform to do it, and I will keep you up to date as things progress over time. And those of you which have already been and found it, thank you very, very much. And I just want to stress, this is not a requirement. I just want to make the point that this is some of the things which we will now start seeing behind the scenes as stuff coming up. And I also want this to be like a two-way conversation for you to be able to provide me feedback and ideas and suggestions for things which you would like to see over the forthcoming weeks and months with the Rag the Nuts Off channel. Oh, and also, I've got to be 100% honest with you, I am looking for ideas for projects for Skankworks. If you don't know what Skankworks is, Andy's micro sky munter, whatever it was he made a couple of days ago, I think that was just so fascinating. I was really impressed with Andy. If you've got any random ideas of what you would like us to do with an RC model, I would love to hear your feedback, and again, you can do that in the comment section underneath this video. So with that said, let's cut to the overview of the products which are coming up very shortly. And yes, I will be nailing a flying wing to a post and sticking fireworks on it and making a flying wing Catherine wheel. Nuts. Good morning, how you doing? Right, this video is a heads up of some of the stuff which I've got planned over the next couple of weeks, and I genuinely mean over the next couple of weeks. I have been working with a really helpful lady over at Banggood to try and plan out now for the next couple of weeks, if that makes sense. And there's a collection of other ideas. It's Friday, so I need to start planning for next week as well. Anyway, just have a look at some of the stuff which is going on. We'll start with the Reptile S800. So some of you may have seen the Reptile S800, which I'm here looking for in the office, right? So you may or may not have seen the skeleton mod, which I did to that. Absolutely hacky, and I think it's going to do all right. Didn't save that much weight, although I did notice that foam was quite dense. So that was the biggest win. I have started chopping out a AR900, and I don't think we're going to get so as an extreme weight saving. I think it was only like 290 grams to start with. So by the time you add lamb back in, anyway, that's a whole different topic, that one specifically. Although I went to Banggood and said, look, I think the S800 is like the best beginner's wing. I think you probably might agree with me as well, because they're just like dumb models. Like I had played one in a tree at a ton, and within 5 minutes of retrieving it, had some hot glue in it, and we were flying again. They're just like indestructible. Craig was the funniest because he bought a different one because his old one had got a bit dirty. He still didn't manage to kill it. So we are going to try and kill an S800. I'll give you like an idea. Well, obviously we're going to blow it up. It is what it is, isn't it? And by the way, you'll notice the format of this video is much different to the other one. So I'm just trying to bring you up to speed with some of the stuff which is going on here in the background. And of course, so we're obviously going to blow it up. We'll probably stick some fireworks on it. I've got some fireworks here. What I'd really like to do is hot glue a plywood board to it, nail it to a post, and then put 2 fireworks on it and try and spin it around like a Catherine wheel. I think that would be funny as fuck. Let's be honest. I would absolutely laugh my tits off. A flying wing spinning around a circle and then having a happy finish at the end. I think that would be absolutely hilarious. So yeah, I went to Banggood and I said, right, I would like to do things like that, including, I saw someone, what was it, Ewan, the E-Wings, running over a wing. Well, I think I can do better than that. So I'm going to do better than that. I'm not even going to bother opening the box. I'm just going to run it over multiple times with multiple vehicles, and then see if we can get out and get it built, and collect some other stuff as well. We're just basically going to absolutely murder the S800 wing, and they've sent me a couple. And I've already killed the one which I've got here as well. So big thank you. This is the kind of thing where working directly with a company such as Banggood makes things like this, the fun projects, possible. Okay, so we're starting with that one. This one I bought out of my own money. It literally turned up. It was 25 quid. I thought it'd be a laugh. I don't have great hopes for it. It's an EPP model. If it flies, I'll be happy. Let's set the expectation there. If it flies, I'll be happy. It's not going to be fast. Well, it might be fast by the time I finish with it, but it's not going to be fast. It's not going to be mental. It's just going to be fun. And is it worth 24 quid, $31 for foam? I think it might be. It's not the prettiest thing in the world, but look at the mini talon. That's butt fuck ugly, and that flies amazingly well. So we kind of hold off verdicts on the way things look, because we don't know how they fly until they get here. Right, next into the next topic. I went to Banggood, and because some of you may have noticed the FPV screen there, which is the doctored Eachine goggles, I went to Banggood with him and said, look, I'd really like to do a shootout between some FPV screens. And I gave them a couple of suggestions, and they came back with one, which was the newer one, which is fair enough. I get what their point is, but actually, I really wanted to do a shootout between the flat screens, so I bought another 2. So we're going to be doing a shootout with a super cheap one for like $24. Bit of a joke. It doesn't have DVR recording, doesn't have diversity, but it's $24. Like 20 quid. I don't think I'm going to be that mean to it. It would have to be remarkably shit to get an absolute pasting for 24 quid. So I'm really curious. That's the one which I'm most curious about, because it's so inexpensive, and I really do quite like using the screen. I was literally flying this morning with the screen as well. It's just a nice experience, and that's what I'm looking for, because that's new to me. So I went with this one as well. It's an Eachine. That's a larger 7-inch one. It's got the diversity, it's got the DVR recording, and it's got some other bells and whistles. 2000 milliampere battery as well, so it should last a while. I don't think we can mod this one per se. I don't think it's thick enough to be modded like what we were doing, although I may make a battery pack to sit on the back of it. So we'll see. And then the one which I went to them about was this one, which does look very, very curious. And the reason why I'm saying it does look very, very curious is because it's got a 4000 milliampere battery pack rammed up its chuffer, and it's a 1000 lux. That's the brightness monitor. It should be super bright, and that's gone down remarkably in price. That was more expensive the other day. That was like $90 odd. So they have changed the price on that. Yeah, $99. I knew it was more expensive than that. So yeah. Got that coming through, and I can't wait to do a shootout, and it'll be a shootout between the 3 screens we've just been seen and the goggles as well, or the box goggles, because that's what I'm using at the moment. So everything will be compared to what I'm used to. And by the way, if you have any comments or suggestions on that, let me know. because I need your feedback as well to be able to give a what's the words I'm looking for, a well-rounded review on them. I also went to Banggood, and there's a video which has not come out yet. You may have seen in the iNav group. There's a ton of videos which are due to come out. I've been hardcore editing, and one of them was about this SpeedyBee adapter. We've got one of those on the way to us. Now, the thing which I found out afterwards, and that's why I shared it early, is that adapters like this, well, you would be able to flash firmware on the flight line, but you would also be able to use it with an iOS device, because OTG does not work with iPads or iPhones on the iOS software, apparently. So because it's a Wi-Fi connection, that would work. And also they've got a Bluetooth version as well. So when that one arrives, we will look at the Bluetooth version as well as a cheaper alternative. So we got one of those on the way to us. They're not out just yet. That's still in pre-order. This one is the Rambler. I am super curious on this one. I have been eyeing this one up for a while. If you didn't know, there's a bit of controversy around this one, as in that it actually was designed by a previous designer who used to work for ZoHD or Sonic Moneagle. And there are traits in there of Sonic Moneagle or model, or however you pronounce it. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 fins on the top. You've got 2 fins in the tail, and you've got 2 fins on the nose. Whether they actually do anything constructive is a very curious question. This tail section does come off. Now, there we go. So they've added photos later over the last couple of weeks. So this tail section does come off. It looks like they've got it the right way round. They're using pretty much exactly the same powertrain as what ZoHD use for their models as well. The one curiosity, which I thought was a bit odd, we look at on there, is that I don't know why they didn't take the aileron or the elevon surfaces right up to the corner. That was an interesting choice. Although, if we go and take a look at the description itself, you will see that there's quite a lot of chatter in here, and a big point about flight efficiency and ranges. That was a 193 kilometer flight, which is just absolutely insane. And they were using a 6S2 piece, the double pack, 21700 Lion packs, which is just insane. In fact, they even go to the point of pointing out the different pack sizes which would fit into the model. Although apparently, I was chatting to someone in the comments, and he was saying it's pretty dog sluggish when it's overloaded. So yeah, very curious. I don't know how much of an enjoyable flight that was, especially with a whacking great big battery like that. That's just insane, because that's 12 21700 cells in it, and those are pretty big. They're like overweight 18650s. Anyway, moving on. Spoke to the lovely lady again. This one's just come out. I've got a nagger in a couple of days, which is an Eachine Razor. Now, this I've got high hopes for, and the reason why I've got high hopes for is because I really have enjoyed the drift. Really have. And I know this channel called Rag the Nuts Off and whatever, but I have really, genuinely, absolutely enjoyed the drift. And if this gets anywhere near it, wow. It is my expectations for this one. And if it's not wow, you will find out of it quite quickly. Although I do have to be a little bit more tentative in specific wordings, but if I mention the word turd, you think you'll probably know what I'm talking about. But I don't think it can be that. It really cannot be that bad. It looks like it's got a slightly thicker wing cord than the drift, and it's a forward-facing motor. Should be quieter. May or may not use the stickers. I haven't really worked out on that. And again, material high-quality EPO. So I am rooting for. I know it won't be wedding prick grade foam, but it better be pretty good. And I hope for a nice dense foam, because again, we look at the kit version, it's still $72. That's the best part, £60 sterling. So, and that's the kit version, let alone the plug and play version. And by the way, as I've worked out, in models like this, sometimes it's just better to get the plug and play version, because you know everything's just going to kind of work together. And obviously there's models which are, well, I've got loads of kit here. So yeah, but sometimes it's just better to get the plug and play version, because it just makes things easier. It just means you get to the flight line faster. Does that make sense? You're not faffing around having to adapt stuff to make it fit. Big frustration coming out there from some of the things which have gone on recently. Moving on. Oh, this was a bit of a weird one, right? I saw this, added it to my wish list, and then I thought I'd just take the piss, to be honest. And I pinged Banggood and said, I fancy one of these. It's not in like the normal stuff which you see here. It doesn't fly, although I'm sure we could try and make it fly. And I kind of liked it. I have got to admit, I kind of liked it. And I also fancied, and it sounds daft, I kind of liked the challenge of creating content for something which doesn't fly. Can you see that whereas that when we make something which flies, it's always in the sky or is it the workbench? Whereas this, it's on the ground, and that opens up a whole realm of fun when it comes to the videography for something like that. So yeah, we're going to see this one in the very near future. I know it doesn't fly, and I'm not going to apologise for that. I'm genuinely curious on this one, for not only because I think it looks pretty cool, and I'll give it to the kids and they'll do their best to kill it. I do have a stream very close to me, so we'll take it through the stream as well. And we'll see how tough it is too. But on a serious point, I'm actually looking forward to this one just for the challenge of the videography side, because I think it'll be fun. And of course, we can stick an FPV camera on the top as well, and then just muck around with it. And heck, it's free. So if it survives, I think that'll do its due. Make sense so far? Next up is that I contacted, again, I'm trying to think about a wide variety of different topics, and one of those topics was charging. And I saw this literally just turned up. Now, I use a little, which ironically is, look, you couldn't make this stuff up. Yeah, I use an ISDT charger. I don't think you can get this one anymore. And you can see me, I'm here actually using it, and using the Lion Pack to charge it as well, so I don't have the noisy charger on. I really like it. Their products work really, really well, and I found having this little small one, it's only a 150 watt charger anyway, so it's less than this one here. I think I paid way more than that for that one. Anyway, I've really enjoyed it. So I was looking for a charger which we could get here and take a look at, and this one stood out. So again, I went to Banggood and said, look, I would like to do a charger series. This one seems like it's a newer one which has come out, and it's in a variety of different options. And yeah, that's on the way to us as well, which is fantastic, because I already know that I like the brand itself, and you may have noticed this, is that I kind of liked the Foxeer brand. That's why I reached out to them as well, and they were fantastic too. Moving on, this one was, and it's just finished. I've just put 650 milliamperes into that Lion Pack which I flew this morning, so it wasn't a terribly long flight, although it was absolutely bloody fantastic. The mist this morning, it's nice being up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Anyway, coming back onto the topic, this was their suggestion, so I do see this as being a two-way street, and they did offer a Eachine DAL full-blown multi-rotor for 4 or 6S, and I had to be honest with the woman, not really my cup of tea. The bigger quads, I've got quads here, I don't see that any need. I've got a Eachine Baby Hawk, which I think is absolutely brilliant, the R version, and it's mental. I really do like doing flips over the top of the house and bashing in and around the trees, and I'm not collecting it as much as what I used to be, which is obviously a good sign. And anyway, there's this one. Look at it. It's absolutely friggin' tiny. So 75 millimeters is absolutely, absolutely tiny. What would say 3 inches, 3.5 ish? Absolutely nuts. And let's be honest, right? It got my attention because it was free to 4S. Hello. I have made 2S quads here, and they have been bonkers, and that's the reason why I went on to and purchased the Eachine Baby Hawk. Need to close my office door up a second, because I was really enjoying the small one, but I kept burning out the motors. So if this comes as a pre-made kit and has 3S, and it does come with batteries, that was the other bit which really got my attention, is that it does come with batteries. I think they're only 3S cells, but for me that was a big one, so it really should be out of the box, bind, and fly, although I may have a tweak with the Vita settings, and I will go off to see if anybody's got any PIDs for it already, or at least see what PIDs they've been set up for it. So yeah, looking forward to that one. And the more I thought about it is that I have, again, I'm trying to become more rounded in what we're doing now, and you may have noticed the last couple of items have been not all things which fly. We're talking more practical side with charging, screens for example. We saw a bit of fun, a bit of on the ground fun for the non-flying days. I think we all like RC. It doesn't matter if it flies or it drives, we all kind of like it anyway. And then this Whoop came up and I was like, yeah, actually I am interested, because A, I think it'd be fun to fly indoors, B, it's free to 4S, which that's blatantly caught my attention, and C, is that I have some woods close as well. So smashing something like that I think would make really good. Again, I'm trying to focus upon the value aspect, so having some VOD for both of us. Does that make sense? I'm looking for some challenges when it comes to the video creation side, and I'm also interested obviously in interesting content, and I think the challenge of flying something like that in and around in a close proximity environment will be really, really good fun. Although I do suspect to begin with, it will be a lot of Matt going off to collect stuff, so there will be a lot of editing going on. Right, that was a lot to take in, but I just wanted to share this with you early so that you get an idea of some of the things which are coming up now. And they won't be tomorrow, they will now be over the next couple of weeks, and as more things get added to the list with more project ideas which I come up with. If you have any ideas for projects as well, I would love to hear your feedback. You can let me know in the comments section underneath this video on YouTube. It doesn't matter how crazy you think they are or how basic, I would genuinely love to hear your feedback. I've got a video which I've got to record later today for Phil, who was asking about my ESC choice for the Drift, because that has the inbuilt ESC which comes with it has a cutoff minimum, like the minimum at 2.8, and obviously I want to run my Lion batteries below that. So he was interested in why was my choice for the little B ESC over others. So we'll go into that process as well. So it doesn't have to be, hey, we're going to go and nail a flying wing to a post and stick rockets to it and make a Catherine wheel out of it. It could be something which drives instead, or it could have other challenges, maybe a shootout for example, like we saw there with the flat screens. What I'm trying to say is that if you've got any cool ideas, let me know, because there's no such thing as a bad idea at the current stage. Let's take everything on and see what can be done. Now, I also want to make the point as well, is that I just want to say a big thank you. I will post this video publicly in a couple of Facebook groups just to let them know what kind of the things which are going on at the moment, and also this kind of heads up for those of you which have been enjoying the YouTube channel and the new membership program, to give them an idea of what's involved. Now, obviously, if you're watching this and you don't want to join, that's absolutely fine. I just want to stress that you will get to see this sometime in the very near future. That's one of the positives, and one of the things which I feel that I can give back to those of you which have joined is to give you that insight early on into what's coming on in the near future as well. So I hope that kind of makes sense. So ideas, suggestions, feedback, good, bad or ugly, would really value that, and you can do that down in the comments section underneath this video. So with that said, for myself, Matt, thank you for joining me for this 20-minute random chat about cool stuff which is on the way to us. Exciting times in front of us right now. Really looking forward to that. We've got some decent weather here in the UK as well, which means that I can get a collection of other projects done as well. Happy days. So, gentlemen and probably a lady, thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you again shortly. Cheerios!